Direzione. Oh, 35 minutes.
What, to drive to the doctor? And you have to be there when?
Yeah.
At 11?
I gotta be there by 11. Please arrive 15 minutes before you... No, I won't do that.
So we have...
45 minutes.
Yeah, 40.
40 minutes?
40-minute episode. 40-minute episode is what people get.
Ugh.
They get punished because we couldn't get our shit together and record over the weekend or Monday or Tuesday.
I honestly have been so busy lately. This month and last month have been very busy. I've been on the move.
I've been busy too, I think. I can't
Yeah,
really
I think you have
tell.
too.
I have been busy, but I think back, there's been plenty of times I've been lying around like a sloth.
I guess you're right. But you also need that time, you know.
No, that's important for me. I do need that time. And I factor that in. It's like, no, I'm busy.
Right.
Because you're going to get me, if I come on and do the podcast, you're going to get me and I'm going to be in one of those moods. And I'm going to say something that's going to make you feel sad. And then you're not going to want to do the show.
Yeah.
Because I won't laugh at your singing or something.
That is rude.
Something else.
Acknowledge me. That's all I need.
Yeah.
Just acknowledgement.
Yeah, and if there's anything to know about me is the moment somebody needs the acknowledgement, they're not getting it from me ever. It's never, ever going to come.
Why are we friends?
That's a good question. I don't know. Because there haven't, looking back over the years, the instances like you flopping around on stage and having Dr. Joe walk on your back in front of an audience, really hamming it up at a live lounge for the Von Hessler Doctrine. I think I was off to the side for some reason. I was able just to not say anything and look the other way. I was like, oh my God, so desperate for the audience to give some kind of reaction. I can't deal with this right now.
I hate that you characterize it as I'm desperate. Because really you can, I guess you can, you can interpret it any way you want. But to me, it was like, I'm just performing, like I wouldn't have acted that way if he and I had been alone and he was adjusting.
Whoa. Hold on 1 second. Let's just.
Okay. Welcome to One Topic, where we try to stick to one topic. My name is Autumn Fisher.
I think you can just say welcome to One Topic. My name is Autumn Fisher.
Welcome to One Topic. This is a podcast. My name is Autumn Fisher.
My name is Greg Russ. Okay, we can get back to that. You wouldn't have flopped around. So, let me better set the table because maybe some people don't even know what I'm talking about. I think I gave enough contextual clues.
Yeah. And don't use any hyperbole. Don't make it bigger than it has to be.
I'm not.
Because me flopping around and Joe walking on my back is not what happened.
That's what you wanted to happen. So there was, this was years ago at this point, but
yeah.
The Von Hessler Radio Doctrine. I don't know why I threw radio in there because it's the radio show. Mm-hmm. Von Hessler Doctrine, which is on the radio.
Shh, baby.
Yeah. Shut the fuck up.
Shush. He's under the covers in my bed barking at nothing. I don't know what he's doing.
So every once in a while, there's a live show in what they call a live lounge because there's a small room at the radio station that people cram into. That's really just, I don't know, a conference room. It's not anything special.
It's not a theater. Space.
Yeah, you're right, because there's a control room in there. So it was built with that in mind. But I don't know how many people you can fit in there. 100?
I feel like it's less, maybe 75.
Okay, that's fine. It doesn't matter. It kind of paints the picture. And the radio show is done on a small riser. It's not really a stage.
Yeah.
Everyone's about 8 inches higher in the air.
A step up.
Correct. And during one of these, Dr. Joe, who...
A chiropractor.
Yes, a chiropractor.
A chironpractor.
Chiropractor. He was there and...
A charlatan.
And I don't know, I can't really remember what led up to this, but you were begging him to... Were you hurt? Was your back in pain?
No,
Or
I
is it
just
just
wanted to
something
be
you made
cracked. I
up?
thought it would be fun. And he was
All
trying
right.
to tell me he
So
wouldn't do it.
so for the sake of entertainment, you say, you wanted to be cracked in front of an audience and on the air. Which look,
yeah.
I like if you can get the cracking noise,
Exactly.
there's some value there for a listening audience. I think that's one thing that people forget is when there's an audience watching you, people resort to doing visual things. It's like, yeah, but most people are still listening to this. So if you're doing something that doesn't really translate on the radio, it's not a good show.
Right.
But cracking bones surely could translate. But
Yeah,
him
if it's a
saying
really good
no,
sound.
yeah, I think it was his resistance to do it, and your continual push, like no, come on, and trying to turn the crowd against him. Like I don't know if your mind, they would start chanting Joe, crack, or something like that, and you'd have to give in to the peer pressure. Was there anything like that in your head?
No, I don't think so. It was more that I wanted it to happen, and I was annoyed that I wasn't getting what I wanted.
So,
and that he wasn't playing along. Just fucking do it. Shut up. Give it to me.
Maybe you don't know what's going on. Maybe you'd expose him. Maybe, we don't really know what Joe's life is like and what he actually does.
Well, I'll have to tell you. So he did do something where he always says like, he said it to Tim. I think he said it to other people where your stomach is in like misaligned or something. It's like not in the right place. And so he does this thing where he like
punches you.
Yeah, he just sucks you right in the gut. No, he did something where he like pushed into my stomach and like flicked down really hard. And that night I had the worst gas, and it wasn't like farting gas. It was just like my stomach blew up. Like it was painful, and I was like I was bulging out. Like my body reacted in such a terrible way. It's like, what a fucking fake ass doctor shit.
How do you know he's not listening to the show right now and you've just crushed his feelings?
Well, listen, Dr. Joe is a very good person. I am pretty wary of chiropractic in general. It's based on a foundation of lies. It's based on like a cult or something that was started.
But there are plenty of people who believe it. I tend to agree with you.
Yeah. And listen, if it's working for you, then it works for you. And I would never like stop you from doing it. But personally,
I would. If it's not really working and you've been fooled
I'm saying,
into thinking it's working.
And whatever, if they think it's working and therefore it does, then I don't care. Take your sugar pill and you take your Pirin tablets, and think that they help you. It's fine. But it's not real.
Where were chiropractors getting their degrees? DeVry? Was that the place?
No.
Life College?
Yeah, there's something like that. There's one in Georgia.
Yeah, there was a big school that I thought there was a scandal probably at this point 10 years ago or more. Chiropractic school scandal.
Life University.
Yeah, it was Life. Okay.
Yeah.
Not DeVry.
Not DeVry. DeVry's like I'm homesick in the middle of the day and the judge shows are on. And there's like a woman with kids who's gone back to school and gone to DeVry and gotten her degree. And now she has a job.
As an AC repair woman.
High school, TV, VCR repair, computer programming, electrician, auto care specialist, bookkeeping, legal assistant.
Look, those are all very important jobs. Do you need to go to DeVry to learn how to do them? I know that a lot of companies don't have the time to train somebody. Right. So maybe you do need to go to DeVry to learn to do these things. The point is, how much does DeVry cost, and is it worth that cost? Because I feel as though there should be other ways and other means to learn these skills. There are skills involved in all of that. But learning those skills, I think, an apprenticeship, if such a thing exists, they don't really anymore, which is a shame. But to me, that's the way.
How do you know that they don't?
I don't know for sure, but you don't really hear about them. And I don't know if a major AC repair company offers an apprenticeship program. It'd be cool if they did. I think that would be worth an investment. As a person who ran an AC repair company, I'd say, I'm going to train the people to do this. They come in, they follow my repair people around. They work on fake AC units, well, real AC units, but ones that aren't connected to a house, in a shop. And they gain the skills and knowledge needed to go out into the field and really
Well, I
knock
could
it
imagine
home.
I could imagine a scenario where someone goes in like to a Jiffy Lube and is just the person at the desk that takes payments and then starts to like on the slower times goes in and like hangs out with someone while they do the oil changes and they start
Yeah,
to
but
get to know the business and
does that other person want the person shadowing them? I think that's the biggest part. If I'm working at a Jiffy Lube,
yeah.
getting paid whatever a Jiffy Lube pays, I probably don't want a person just over my shoulder like, "What's this? What are you doing here? Tell me about that." It's like, "Fuck no." So you have to be, ready and in this
True.
spot and make that choice. Like, okay, I'm going to train a person. I want to teach this person. And if there's an actual apprenticeship program, the person would be compensated for doing such a thing. And that's why it works.
Right.
But instead, DeVry exists, and who knows what DeVry's tuition is.
Okay, but anyway, so I wanted Joe to do something to me.
Well, it's DeVry tuition. I know, we'll get to that. We need to get to that. We've gotten too far away. DeVry tuition. $17,488. Is that a year?
Wow.
Yeah,
No.
that's it says, a year.
Whoa, 17 grand?
And look at that. DeVry University has been ranked 6th out of 200 colleges and universities in Newsweek's list of America's top online colleges in 2023.
Acceptance rate 93%.
Well, it's because they're not. I know. Look, I know that's a stat that's easy to look at, but some fucking prestigious schools acceptance rate 7%. That's pretentious. Right. Fuck you. I'd rather a school that says, yeah, most people are getting in. We're not going to rip them off.
Yeah.
I mean, 17,000. What's a degree program? 2 years at DeVry? How long are you going? I guess it's more than.
It's
and
probably
maybe we're
2 years.
Conflating it. Like maybe we're conflating DeVry with maybe that's an actual college that offers traditional courses and isn't. They've
got bachelor's, master's, associates, undergrad certificates, grad certificate. Okay, so we're thinking of some. We need to be looking at like Chattahoochee Tech.
I'm getting it confused. Maybe DeVry's up their game over the years. I'm just thinking one of the schools that teaches you a profession, plumber.
Yes, a trade.
Correct. So I apologize if anyone listening works at DeVry.
At Chattahoochee Tech, business and professional, computers and engineering, digital media, health, technical. Okay. There's a Halloween spooktacular at 6 p.m. tomorrow. Let's go.
No. No. I can't believe that Halloween is almost here. I'm ready for Halloween to be over. I mean, I'm not. I like this time of year, and I can't believe it's already fucking November.
I know. It's wild.
That blows my mind, and I'm not wishing for the time to fly by, but Halloween, I just... in the past, now we're way far off, but in the past several years, not every year, but a lot of those years, I would go marshal the Halloween parade in the village here.
I was wondering if you were going to do that.
With Michael Albanese, because he had a friend who worked at New York One, and New York One's the news channel that broadcasts the parade, and the marshal kind of just controls, like there's the parade marshal people traditionally think of where you're leading the parade and you wear a sash or whatever the fuck.
You have like a scepter.
Yes. You're controlling the broadcast area. So you're bringing people into the zone where they're going to be on TV, and you're ushering people out when they stay too long. When they overstay, they're welcome and they're dancing and getting all the, like, this can bring us back to what we were talking about. You would be the kind of person, because what they really want to see, and some of it is a little hack at this point, like the fucking Michael Jackson Thriller. There's always a group that does the fucking Thriller.
Well,
usually there's several groups that do the Thriller, but one of them has been designated the best group, and they're the one who gets to do, a minute of Thriller on TV.
Okay. The only part of Thriller that is fun to do.
And in this parade, everyone's allowed to walk. I think you still have to register. You can't just jump in, but you don't have to. There's nothing special. You can put on your costume and you can march in the parade. And because of that, you get a lot of people who, once they get to the TV zone, really ham it up. Yeah. And they will not leave. And they just dancing and doing dumb fucking things, acting as though it's some kind of TikTok video. This is the way it's morphed over the years. There's always actually it's an earlier. It should have warned us what TikTok was going to bring. You give someone a camera and an opportunity to dance. That's because
TikTok is not about dancing.
I guess it's the easiest thing to improvise in the moment. You can't really do a stand-up set if you're not prepared. You can't just pull out some instruments and start playing.
Well, if your costume calls for a certain sort of state of being, you could sort of,
sure,
morph into that real quick and then go.
But I think if you took a random group of people and put them in front of a camera and said perform individually, and just
dancing would be the default.
Yes, because that's
you're like
that's just what people are going to do, like and they're just going to start dancing some dumb fucking dance. I guarantee like 90%, 5% will freeze and 5% will probably make faces or something, or just I don't know what to do. And maybe you could lump that into freezing, but to me, freezing is where a person doesn't do anything. Like and then some people will try to talk their way out of it, but dancing would be the main go-to. And TikTok is, I know it's not mainly dancing now, but my God, there's people who have accounts that that's all it is. It's like they just do a fucking dance. And
I don't think so. That's not really a thing anymore.
I saw an account pop up the other day, and it's this woman who used to be in some kind of wicked touring show who now has so many followers, and all she does is dances. Each video is just a fucking dance.
But are they like actual interesting? Not like, because TikTok used to just be kids.
No, because she's cute.
Oh, but if she was in Wicked,
cute.
She's not a dancer.
Like 17 when she was in Wicked or something, and now she's
I don't understand
26.
Anyway,
I'll send the account.
Okay.
And then I'm the main character on Reddit, the subreddit that I enjoy looking at, that mocks these videos where people go out in public. So many of them are people dancing in public places, like just getting in people's way or getting pissed that people are in their video, even though they're in a busy fucking street.
Fake videos, but okay.
No, they're not all rage bait.
Okay.
Some of them are. I can differentiate. I'm not a fucking old man.
I know.
I'm an old man.
We're pretty good at spotting fakeness, I think.
By default, I go in and that's my stand. Like, it's my baseline. I just say this is fake, and you have to convince me otherwise. I don't go in saying this is real. But there's a lot of that. There's a lot of dancing. But anyway, the people at the parade, they're there. They're hamming it up for the camera. And as a marshal, somebody like, gotta go. Come on, keep moving. And sometimes they get pissed at you. And then you open your jacket and you reveal your official T-shirt and you say, "Oh, I'm sorry."
You open your jacket and you show them your gun.
It did happen, not the gun part, but it happened before, where some guy was starting to get really testy. He's like, "Who are you?" And I opened up my jacket and I had a little badge, not like a police badge, like a lanyard badge laminated. I said, "I'm a marshal at this parade." He said, "Oh,
move it along, sir."
I'm not trying to abuse my authority. I want people to have their fun. It's just that
it's
not
asked.
Just about you. Yeah, and just in general, it's like, look, you get 1 second in dancing. Good, move.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people.
But listen,
a lot of people.
That is not me. I am not that person.
You would not.
I of
leave
course
the
would
camera zone.
ham it up a little bit, but I'm not going to overstay my welcome.
Like, even just being a marshal, I think you try to hang in the zone where you're on the camera constantly. You'd be looking over your shoulder.
You are such an asshole.
That crane that's going over the crowd, and you'd follow it along. And I can just envision the way you would be. You wouldn't even be walking normally. There'd be like a difference in your step, and your gait would be adjusted.
Annoying. Why are you so nasty?
You know this. Look, if you...
It's not true.
You want to entertain.
I'm not desperate for attention.
You want to entertain, I guess.
Yeah, that's fine. But if my job is to be a marshal, then I'll marshal. You know what I mean? I'll do that. It's fine.
Yeah, it's not about the marshals.
Okay. This isn't even my job. I don't know why I'm defending myself. I'm not even doing it.
Okay, but if you were marching in the parade,
I would come by and I'd be like, "Oh, the camera," but I would not embarrass myself and oversell my welcome, or like, I don't know, do something stupid. I'll just like, yee,
What kind of
and
costume would
wave.
you even be wearing?
Well, I have a skeleton like costume that I wear usually, that I've been wearing lately. Lately, as in last year.
Oh, so you've given up, is what you're saying. You put on the same,
Well, I
which is
wanted to be
fine.
Judge Judy. And my
Yes.
mom had a wig that she brought over, and it is a great little wig for Judge Judy, but I don't have I'm just like not putting the effort into getting the robe and the little collar, which I could totally do. And I still have time to do it. Maybe I will. But I just have
I
this
still think
skeleton costume that's easy to throw on, you know?
I think it'd be difficult to do because you don't have a Judge Judy face. Like Judge Judy's got that scowl and that pointy nose.
Oh, I love her so much.
I just don't. I think it would be. You'd have to contour your face with makeup.
No, I
give
don't
it
have to look just like her.
angles.
I embody
need
her. People will
angles.
think
You
I'm
need it.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg or something.
They probably would think that.
Yeah.
And then you'd have to spend the night saying, no,
Yeah.
it's not what I am.
Where do you think you were coming to today? The beach? She says that a lot. If they like don't have, she's like, I don't have evidence for that, ma'am. I didn't bring that with me today, ma'am.
Oh, wow.
What do you think? Where do you think you were coming today? To a tea dance? Stuff like that. They don't keep me here because I'm beautiful.
Oh, yeah, Judge Judy. Now I know. Not Ruth.
I love Judge Judy. She's the fucking best, dude.
Wapner.
That people will be like, well, I feel...
Wapner set the tone for all of this.
Wapner did not like Judge Judy. He said he didn't like how she was mean.
Yeah, see, Wapner had some compassion.
Well, she has compassion too, but she gets really mad at people when they do stupid things. Like if they take advantage of, like if they call CPS on someone as a way to weaponize it instead of actually believing it, then she gets really mad at them. Or if somebody says that that they receive Social Security because like their back is hurt or they have this or they have that and they can't work. And then they're suing the other person because they did all this work on their house and they didn't get paid while they were staying there because they thought that they didn't have to pay rent if they like rehab the house. And she's like, what the fuck? You can't work?
I think all that's, I think all that's justified.
Yeah, I love her. She's the fucking best.
I mean, the kind of cases that show takes.
Shut up.
It's filled with trash. And
not always.
There's certainly people hamming it up on there. How many of those cases are actually even real? Knowing that
well,
Michael Albanese went on one of those judge shows with
one of those
fake
judge
story.
shows. No, she'll throw cases out that she thinks are fake.
No, they set that up for the TV thing to help fool the audience into thinking.
She doesn't like it.
She just doesn't like bad acting.
This smells fishy. I don't like it. She's like, your cases are dismissed.
I know, but the producers know that going in, and they have a discussion. They're like, we're going to give you a fake case to throw out, Judge. That way, it protects your credibility. She's like, great, good. That sounds wonderful. What was Albanese on? Judge Joe Brown.
No, not Joe Brown.
No,
he was on that skinny black guy's judge. I thought.
No, I think it was a white dude.
Oh, really? Was it the younger sort of? Baby, shut up.
Judge Alex. Yeah, Judge Alex.
Okay.
What the hell is Judge Alex?
So I actually did some research as to like how these judge shows work, and it's really just mediation. It's not like an actual court case, but they still have powers to make judgments, and the people sign that they have to comply with whatever the result of the case is, but they can still take it back to their home court district or whatever and I guess redo the case if they want, because it's really just mediation.
Because they're not in their district. Like they're not where they live.
I guess. Yeah. And then another, she'll like one time it was a dispute about a dog and the person lost the case who had the dog and needed to like give up the dog to the other person. And when she finished the case, the guy was like, you're not getting your dog. And then she had already been walking away and she came back and she was like, what did he say? And he's like, nothing, Your Honor. She's like, no, what did he say? You're not getting the dog or whatever. And then she was like, you're not, where do you come from? He's like, St. Louis or wherever. And she said, we're not going to pay your way back if you don't make arrangements for her to get the dog. I just like that she was like, bitch, you gonna fuck with me.
Okay. Did they pay? I feel if you really wanted to keep the dog, you could still just like, all right, I'll figure my own way home. I'm keeping my dog.
Well, yeah, I guess. But they signed something that says that they have to comply with the judgment.
I know, but then you said they can just go home and do another case.
Yeah, but then they'd have to refile. Do you know what I mean? So like, they'd have to start a new process. Like she does dismiss cases without prejudice so that they can go back and solve it later. Like if they don't have all the evidence they need or something. And she thinks
somebody who loses and is desperate enough though. And I know a lot of these things are getting to that level, but I feel like a dog, people have strong feelings about dogs. And if they're giving up a dog and they really want to keep the dog, I think they'd be motivated to go refile and say, I'm keeping this. Unless the previous judgment means something to the next trial. Like, well, this has already been ruled against or ruled on. You've been ruled against. And
I mean, I'm sure that's in documentation, but I think that what would have to happen is that they would have to return the dog and then file a new case saying this matter was in mediation and I disagree with the mediation. So you'd still have to give up the dog. You'd have to comply with the ruling.
Why would you even go on the first? See, you would go on to Judge. Well, your obsession with Judge Judy. So let's take her out of the equation. You would go on one of these judge shows. I feel as an opportunity.
I would only do it if I felt like somebody owed me the money, and like if I was as like as a plaintiff, right? I would go in because, like, let's say you and I had a money dispute, and neither of us really wanted to get too crazy with it. Shut, babe. Why? Why are you barking so much? What is your problem? Chill. Shush. No. Why? Stop barking. It's the only way he communicates is barking. Anyway, if you and I had a problem, then I wouldn't really like want to press you too much for the money, but because what happens is I think the show pays the people.
Yeah, so, there's some set amount that I know that it pays, and if
5,000 is the max.
So if you lose, it's not really coming out of your pocket, right?
Right, and if you win, then as a defendant, if you win, then I think then both of the people get like appearance fees. So it's like a motivation for people. But what the producers do is they go to, like, they scour courts, like small claims courts, and they find cases that they think would be interesting and then offer those litigants a chance to be on Judge Judy instead.
I mean, that's fair. Look, if somebody was coming at me for several $1,000s and I felt as though I'm trying to think if it wasn't justified and I didn't really owe them the money, would I still go on the TV show? If I felt as though it's like, yeah, I fucked up and I'm trying to screw you over even more and don't want to give you the money, and that was an out, I'd say, sure, let's go to the TV show so I don't have to pay because I'm a scumbag. Like that idiot Stephen Shelley, who we did a whole, not that we ever went to court, but Stephen Shelley, the guy who was part of the pickup artist gang.
See, and then he would say yes to it because he's desperate for attention.
He's desperate for attention, apparently desperate for that money. It's like, you gave me the deposit back for this apartment. Now you're telling me to give you the deposit back that you already gave me back because your apartment was disgusting and the new tenant didn't want to move in. It's like, that sounds like your problem, not my problem.
And he would probably behave in a certain way that she would notice. And then she would say, this isn't an audition. I already got the job.
Yeah, but see, in that instance.
She says that to people that perform on the show. She's like, knock it off. This isn't a performance.
Well, in that instance where I was in the right and this guy was a piece of trash, and if we were offered to go on the show, I'd say no because it's giving him an out. And it's like, he wanted to take me to small claims court. I just evaded him. I evaded him. I gave him fake addresses until I figured shit out on my side. And then I gave him my real address when I knew that I had him dead to rights.
Right.
So
Smart.
in that instance, though, knowing it's like, well, you're going to get out of this even if I make money. No, I will not make money just so you don't make money. I'm not going on this TV show with you.
But it would be fun to
So-
sort of humiliate him and like have him show.
It could. You're speaking my language, you know.
Yeah.
You're-
Yeah, that's true.
You know the things to say. An opportunity to humiliate a person publicly. It's like,
Right.
yes, that would certainly have to weigh in to the decision. So you just made it a tougher decision.
Okay.
So we never finished the Dr. Joe thing, though. So going back, this is you're in front of an audience, and you're Dr. Joe. Come on, please adjust me. Come on, Joe.
I did not.
Joe.
There was no chanting. I said no
Well,
hyperbole.
In your mind, you thought that the crowd would be chanting and they would peer pressure him into it. But at some point, after he's saying no, you flop to the ground.
I did.
And I say flop because this wasn't just you directly sat down first and then laid down. You just kind of, your body went limp and you fell to the ground. You let gravity do its thing. And then I remember you kicking your feet a bit and pumping your fists in the air like you're trying to fire up the crowd.
No.
Yes. So you're on your back at this point. Because at some point
Okay.
you roll over on your stomach because you want him to step on your back.
No,
And-
there was no stepping on my back.
That's what okay, whatever.
It's adjusting.
I
The cracking.
don't. Fine. I'm not trying to misrepresent what happened. I remember at some point somehow it got to, well, just step on my back. But point is, you flop, the feet are kicking, the fists rhythmically going in the air, and he's still resisting. And you roll over, and I swear to God, it's like you did the worm for a second. You did.
Oh,
You did like one
I can't
arc
do the worm.
of the worm. Well,
If
no, that-
if I did that, then someone said, well, it was a suggestion. So then I
Well,
would have,
whatever.
like I would have run with, you know what I mean? Like if somebody said, if you're on the ground, do the worm, be like, I'd try and I would fail. And I wouldn't
whatever
do
it
it.
was,
I-
whatever it was,
Yeah.
it wasn't working. People really weren't into it. Joe
Yes,
clearly wasn't into it.
how do you know people weren't into it?
I was there. I remember watching the
No,
audience.
You were freaking out probably because it was embarrassing to you. And so
The
you started
more-
putting in all this stuff into other people's minds about like, she's embarrassing
the
herself.
more
People aren't liking this.
the more it didn't go the way you wanted it to go, the more you doubled down and just pushed it and added more elements to it.
Well, he
That's
shouldn't
the
have
way-
said no.
That's the way I remember it. It's like, Joe,
Okay.
you want to adjust me? No. Joe, come on. Oh, come on. No, I don't really want to. Oh, and then that's when you turn to the crowd. So you double
Okay,
down
now
again.
hold on a second. Don't act like Joe is not the thirsty one.
I'm not saying such a thing.
Because he's
I
not
know
saying
Dr.
no as in no, I couldn't. Like, oh, I'm just so humble. No, it was because I think from maybe like a medical standpoint was worried because I had been adjusted like as a kid, but not as an adult. And so he was like, well, you can't, like, I don't know, like he doesn't know my body or something. So he was
Which is
afraid to
very
do it.
fair. And you continued to.
It is, but it was like, hello, shut up, just do it.
But
We're
that
we're doing a
desperation
show,
that
let's
grew.
go.
That desperation that grew within. This is what I see in a lot of
Yeah.
people, and what really turns me off to society is look, we all like to get some attention. We all like to be recognized for the things that we do. You have an opportunity in front of a crowd, you try something out, and if it goes over well, you feel good about it. But there's certainly people that when it doesn't go, instead of just recognizing that in the moment, it's like, well, I'm going to continue. I'm going to get what I need. I'm going to win this crowd over. I'm going to get the attention I so
Yeah.
crave. And the more you try to resist, the more I'm going to try. And to me,
But see,
like,
to me,
that's
it wasn't attention that I was craving. It was that I just wanted him to do it, and I was annoyed that he wasn't doing it. And then, because it is a performance, I felt like it's annoying that he won't do it. So I was annoyed double annoyed.
There is the
It
flip
wasn't because
side
like
to
I
it.
need the attention so bad. It was like
There
I
is
wanted
the
to
flip side.
perform.
There's the other side to this where people who don't get the attention that they want, they get angry and shut down and say things like, fuck this. Why am I even fucking here? I should just go home. I'm speaking about someone specific.
Yes. I know.
Tim Andrews,
Bless him.
who in one of these other live lounges didn't like that he didn't have much to do in the first couple segments. And off to the side, I was talking to him and he was such a baby about it, cursing, really just angry, like it was a personal shot to his ego. And
well, so many things, like not as much with Tim anymore, but with Eric too. Like things will happen that are just things that happen, and they take it so personal.
Look, and I understand where Tim's coming from. If I'm going one of these directions, it's certainly that direction.
Right.
I do feel like there have been instances. I know there have been instances. I just can't remember specific ones where I've had a similar feeling. It's like, why am I
if they've
even
gotten you on the
then?
show and you're calling in or something, and then nothing ever happens with you, and like you're talked over and you never get to say anything, like that's annoying.
I didn't think that's a fair feeling. It's like, why am I even here?
Right.
But in that instance, it was just because it was like the first segment and a half or 2 segments. It's like there's plenty of time left in the show.
And sometimes that's just the way it goes. Like sometimes you have a lot to do and a lot to say and a lot to participate with, and then other times you don't. And that's just the way it is.
I would be angrier being that close to, let's say I played sports and I was good and I made it. Well, professional is different because you're still making decent money if you're not playing, because there's, a minimum that's still hundreds of thousands of dollars. So it's a little different because of the money, but playing sports, if you're on a team, you're good enough to make the team, you're there, but you're not starting and you sit the bench. I was like, fuck, I don't even want to, why am I here then?
Right.
I don't. Yeah. And look, that's on me because I wasn't good enough to be playing, but it's worse in my mind to be that close to it. Some people would love to be that close to it. The team wins, you can still run on the field and celebrate, and you can actually say we, not like a pathetic fan who has nothing to do with the team. Because you're not on the team. You could say we, and there's things you get out of it. But I would just stew. I was like, God, fuck, I'm here. And I'm such a fraud. All these people are playing. They're the ones doing the work. They're the ones. I couldn't in good conscience jump in on any glory if I didn't participate in the game and contribute in some way. I wouldn't, like, if there was a championship one and I got 0 playing time, or I got playing time and I didn't do anything. It's like, I wouldn't want to touch the fucking trophy. It's like, I don't know. Holding it up, it's like a fraud. It exposes you. It's like standing there naked. And maybe the rest of the world doesn't think that about you, but they should. Like, look at this guy. Look at him.
They should have more judgment. That's right. I think in this world we need more judgment.
It's like hoisting the trophy. We're the best. Yeah, it's like, what did you fucking do? You didn't do anything just because you were on the team. You didn't, and to just avoid that, because that feeling is worse to me. The feeling of being a fraud in that instance. A team wins a championship. You didn't contribute. It's not anxiety.
It is, neuroses.
I don't even know if that's neuroses. I think that's the proper feeling. And the fact that people don't conclude with that feeling is weird.
Well, going too far the other way, then you have no humility, which I understand that. But to be a part of the team, and just not used very often, you can still celebrate as part of the team.
I guess. Again, if you're a professional, it's like, well, I made $800,000 for not doing anything, especially if you play baseball, because there's not practice. It's like I traveled with the team.
I sat on the bench. I ate a lot of sunflower seeds.
And I got paid $800,000.
All right.
That's
I put my head on a weird way so that we win.
Not so bad. I came up with the home run celebration. I was the one who got the goofy Viking helmet. And whenever a guy hits the home run, we put the Viking helmet. I came up with that.
There you go. See, you're part of morale. Touch the trophy.
A cheerleader is what you are. Is what you're saying.
I mean, but also a cheerleader with a skill to like come in for a bat or two.
I just wouldn't want to do it. I think if I'm going to do something, that's why I don't do many things. It's like I just want to be good at it, be the best at it. I just want to be contributing if it's a team thing or collaborative effort. And because it's so difficult to get to that point, because you really do have to put in like 110% of anything you do. I know I've always hated that saying.
110%.
I get the sentiment behind it, but because you have to put in that effort, though, it's like, fuck that, because I want to lie around and do nothing sometimes, a lot of the time.
Well, I think that's fine. I think that there are plenty of people that have that engine, that motor inside them, that they're more inclined to want to give that 110%. And then it's just like the same people who have that motor to like, I don't know, make the world better, like actively participate in making the world better on a macro scale. And that ain't me. Like and like what you're saying, it's like I want time to relax. I don't want to burden myself with problems of the world. That's for other people to do. I'll improve the world on a micro level with my attitude, my interactions with people, the raising of my kids and how they treat others, stuff like that.
That's really the most you can do.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Other people don't feel like that's the most that they can do. And if they have that motor in them to do that, then go for it. Then that's you. But don't put it on me that I'm not going to put it on myself that I'm lazy for not participating in that type of activity. It's like, that's not me.
Anyone who thinks they can change it on a macro level, it's like, who the fuck do you think you are? Like Greta, I know Greta's messaging. I don't care about, like, I'm not talking about that, but the choice was made at some point. You will be the face and the voice. And then they rammed it down. Exactly. How did it happen? And it only happened because people decided to accept it and let it happen. Right. There's so many people who ride the bench and want to be attached and say that they're a part of something that they will, like, let's boost this person to the spotlight because I helped in doing that. And
how dare you?
And yes, because she was a child, it was taking advantage of her. So
I don't even know how to I wouldn't know how to look up her story because I wouldn't believe it. I wouldn't believe anything I saw.
Yeah, it's been manufactured and manipulated. So,
it's been,
I don't
like,
hold
legendified.
Yes. She rowed a boat alone, a small sailboat across the Atlantic Ocean.
She didn't go alone. But it was like green, right? It had like zero mission or something.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, they documented
it was a pirate ship.
They documented it, and she had such a team of people that flew ahead of her that it actually. That's a part of the story.
Yeah.
It's, they presented the story they wanted, but I have no problems with her as a person because she was a kid. If she was an adult and made that decision herself and self-anointed, then like
zero hubris.
Like, who the fuck are you?
I mean, wait,
not
the hubris? No, she has a lot of hubris.
Yes.
Sorry, my bad.
Zero humility.
Thank you.
She should be humiliated. That's what she should be by all of this. She should
publicly
have these pangs of such shame. She's like, what?
Maybe she does.
Fuck? I hope so. Make me like her more.
Yeah. Well, because
again, I don't. I feel for her in a way. Mm-hmm. She just got thrust into that position by her desperate dad, who probably played cricket. No, she's not from India or England.
No,
I don't
she's
know
like
what they
from
play in.
Sweden or something. Or
yeah, I don't know whatever
Norway
sport they play. He wasn't good enough playing galosh ball, and and he's like, I need to be in the spotlight with my daughter. People live.
Well, that's the thing too. It's like
children.
You got to look at the parents too. You say, why are you doing that? Because if Ellie were good at something, it would not be like, I gotta milk the shit out of that thing that she's good at. No, let her guide her own life And if she wants
It's the
help with
same.
it, then I'm there to support it. But I'm not going to push and push and push.
It's the
just
same as
because
a
I can see
parent
that
who
she's good.
forces their kid to play baseball nonstop.
Yeah.
It's like, your kid hates playing baseball. I don't care.
Or they
This
love
is what
it,
it
and then you
takes.
take all the fun out of it.
Yeah, because you need to get to the major leagues, and I need to
Yeah.
start teaching you the lessons now and the discipline now. And,
Right.
you ruin it. And then you convince yourself that it's not meant to be fun because it requires hard work. Because you're so desperate for your child to get to the major leagues. Why? It's not you. It's not you. I'd be jealous if my kid did better than me. I'd say, God damn it. I wanted you to be worse.
You know what I was proud of myself recently was and then we probably have to end because I have to go to a doctor's appointment. There's a production of Frozen Junior that's happening at the elementary school, which I don't know why it's junior. I guess it's like a scaled down version of the movie Frozen. But anyway, so we got an email about it, and Trav asked if Ellie would want to audition. And so I asked her, and she was like, I'll do the backstage crew. I was like, oh, okay. Like, you wanna try and like audition or like the
Yeah, see?
leading role? You know? But
Like,
no,
how
but
could you not
and
want
then
to be
she
on
was
the
like,
stage and be the center of attention?
that's
and
what I'm
have everyone
saying. So
cheering?
I said, are you sure you don't want to like try and do this? Blah, blah, blah. And she said, no, I want to do the backstage. She said, unless I could be Olaf. And I was like, okay, but then she was like, no, I want to do backstage stuff. And I said, okay. But I really wanted her to like,
Man, you
wanted
say,
her to
whose
do it.
daughter are you? You're not my daughter.
I know, loser. And then I pushed her down and I took her lunch money.
I would never want to be backstage. I need to be the one they're cheering for. I want people to adore me, to faint like Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
And they sang Man in the Mirror. I think there was a video. That's why I'm putting this together. A video for Man in the Mirror, or the opening for Moonwalker, where he is singing Man in the Mirror, but it's just a bunch of clips from his shows, and people are like passing out because it's Michael Jackson.
Know. What a weird. I don't get that. The passing out.
Everyone's so desperate for, I mean, and that the fact that people can get to the point where there's somebody who's so famous and they see him and they pass out. I don't understand any of it. I don't get it. I think
they also are in a crowd of people who also are in love with him. So maybe it was like one of those group weird things where we're all competing with each other to like who's freaking out the most.
Anyone who pushes their kid and their kid gets success and you get to say that you're the parent, I don't,
right.
Fine. I did such a great job. The reason they're there is me. Is like that. Is that what you're trying to let them make their own decisions? If you're doing that with yourself, it's like ultimately, look, you're going to die and people are going to forget about you. There's a few people that people don't forget about, but I do think
Galileo.
I think, yes, there's a few people. But even other people who, and it'd be interesting to see how it plays out now that there's so many more famous people. It's just too many to keep track of.
It's all watered down.
Yeah, but it's so many to keep track of that once these people die, no one's going to remember.
Yeah.
Even old, like there's some, I know you have to go. There's like old movie stars. There's people that are remembered, but they're being remembered less as more people are born and the people who knew them die off. Like if you ask
Jared who Greta Garbo is, he might not know.
Or I know the name, but I'm not really familiar. And then at some point, there's going to be just such a history of movies. Like, I don't know. Maybe the people who were the first will be remembered more than the people in the middle. But it's like, there is going to be a time. It's like all these people are famous and done shitloads of movies now. It's like, yeah, I kind of know that name, but I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
I have no clue.
The Harold and Kumar guys will not be remembered.
No, you can't avoid it. So, I'm sorry, you're going to die and you're going to be forgotten.
On that note, don't forget to like and subscribe, rate and review. And that's it. Okay. Thanks for listening. We'll give you a whole hour next week. Promise. Bye.
And we did 50 minutes. That's pretty good.
Go.
You have to go to the doctor's appointment. Go.
Goodbye.
Quick fade.